let's be honest. Living with diabetes isn't just about cutting sugar. It's about trying to keep your numbers stable and still getting blindsided anyway. You follow the rules. You measure everything. You eat on time. But the spike still comes. Then a crash. Then the frustration of not knowing what went wrong this time. For many seniors, that pattern doesn't just repeat during the day. It gets worse at night. That's when blood sugar can quietly drop, slowly, dangerously, without a sound. You don't feel it, but your body does. Your heart works harder. Your brain struggles. And the worst part? You wake up exhausted, even though you slept. This isn't about willpower. It's not about discipline. It's about missing one thing that's almost never talked about in diabetic diets: blood sugar stability through balanced proteins and essential fats. See, when most people think about managing diabetes, they focus on what to remove: bread, rice, dessert. But rarely do we talk about what to add, especially the kinds of nutrient-dense seafood that can make a real difference. Today, you're going to discover 4 powerful options. Each one supports blood sugar in a different way. And the final one might surprise you with just how effective it is, especially for those struggling with overnight dips. If this is your first time here, I'm Dr. James Porter, and if this helps, feel free to subscribe. Now let's take a closer look at the first seafood on the list. Of all the changes you can make to your plate, this one might be the most overlooked. Mackerel, a small oily fish, carries a big impact for anyone managing blood sugar. What makes it so effective isn't just the protein. It's the omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA, which play a direct role in how your body handles glucose. They don't just support heart health. They help slow the rate at which carbohydrates are broken down and absorbed into the bloodstream. That matters, because when carbs hit too fast, insulin can't keep up. But when absorption is slower and more gradual, your glucose levels stay steadier and the roller coaster calms down. In 2021, researchers in Japan published a study showing that participants who consumed mackerel 3 times a week had significantly reduced post-meal glucose spikes compared to those who didn't. Another meta-analysis from the University of East Anglia found that omega-3 seconds from oily fish improved insulin sensitivity in older adults, especially those with metabolic syndrome. But this isn't just about nutrients on paper. Mackerel is naturally low in mercury, easy to prepare, and far more affordable than most people think. You can grill it, bake it, or even use it canned without compromising the benefits. And because it's so rich in fat and protein, it doesn't just prevent spikes. It also helps keep you full longer, reducing the urge to reach for high-carb snacks between meals. Some seniors tell me they've gone years avoiding fatty fish, thinking it would make things worse. But the right kind of fat, in the right balance, can make things better. That's what mackerel brings to the table. A small fish with a stabilizing force your blood sugar has been waiting for. Among all the seafood options available, sardines may be the most underrated ally for those managing diabetes, especially when it comes to what happens after the sun goes down. Blood sugar management at night requires more than just avoiding snacks. It depends on what you eat during the evening hours, specifically whether that food can help buffer against glucose drops while you sleep. Sardines do exactly that. They're naturally high in magnesium, a mineral that plays a central role in glucose control, insulin signaling, and cellular energy balance. Yet many older adults fall short on magnesium without realizing it, especially those taking diuretics, acid reducers, or blood pressure medications. The consequences of low magnesium go far beyond cramps or fatigue. In the context of diabetes, it creates a kind of metabolic resistance, where your body struggles to regulate sugar even when insulin is present. In 2021, researchers from Sao Paulo State University conducted a study on magnesium intake and glycemic control in older adults with type 2 diabetes. They found that individuals with higher dietary magnesium had significantly better overnight blood glucose stability, lower HbA1c levels, and fewer episodes of nocturnal hypoglycemia. Sardines are also rich in calcium, vitamin D, selenium, and high-quality protein, a combination that supports bone strength, immunity, and satiety. But when it comes to blood sugar, it's the magnesium-protein pairing that makes them a smart choice for the evening meal. They're small, easy to digest, and don't overload the system with calories or carbs. And unlike many other fish, sardines can be eaten whole bones and all, adding even more nutritional density in a small serving. They're also one of the most accessible sources of clean seafood. No fancy preparation, no high cost, and no concern over mercury or overfishing. A simple tin of sardines packed in olive oil can deliver everything your body needs to stay balanced through the night. Many seniors I speak to are surprised when I recommend sardines. But once they try it paired with a few leafy greens or roasted vegetables, they begin to notice something: fewer blood sugar crashes and better sleep. It's a quiet solution for a quiet problem. But sometimes, that's exactly what works best. When you think of salmon, the first word that comes to mind is usually healthy. But for people managing diabetes, salmon does more than support general health. It tackles a root issue that often gets missed: chronic inflammation. Inflammation might sound vague, but in the diabetic body, it plays a very specific role. It interferes with insulin signaling. The more inflammation present, the harder it is for your cells to recognize and respond to insulin, which means glucose stays in your blood, elevating levels even when you're eating the right foods. That's why restoring insulin sensitivity is just as important as managing carbs. And this is where salmon stands out. It's one of the richest natural sources of long-chain omega-3 seconds, which have been shown to reduce levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of inflammation in the body. In a 2022 study from the University of Bergen, adults with type 2 diabetes who added 100 grams of salmon to their diets 3 times per week saw a measurable drop in CRP and fasting blood sugar after 12 weeks. Another clinical review published in Nutrients found that omega-3 seconds improved glucose metabolism by reducing oxidative stress in pancreatic beta cells. But salmon doesn't just help at the cellular level. It also contains astaxanthin, a natural antioxidant that gives salmon its rich pink color. Astaxanthin has been studied for its ability to protect blood vessels and reduce oxidative damage, 2 areas that are often compromised in long-term diabetes. And because salmon is so satiating, it helps control appetite without spiking insulin, making it an ideal evening protein for those dealing with nighttime cravings. Not all proteins are created equal. Some leave you sluggish. Some raise your numbers more than expected. Salmon, when prepared simply grilled, steamed, or oven-baked, offers clean fuel with anti-inflammatory benefits that go beyond the plate. For seniors aiming to not just manage, but reverse some of the resistance that's built up over years, this fish earns its place in the weekly routine. In diabetes care, the focus is often on what raises blood sugar. But equally important is what prevents it from crashing. That's where shrimp offers a distinct advantage, especially for seniors looking to stay steady between meals or avoid late-night dips. Shrimp is almost pure protein. A 3-ounce serving contains over 20 grams of high-quality protein and virtually no carbohydrates. That combination makes it an ideal food when your goal is to refuel without risking a spike. Unlike red meat, shrimp is extremely lean. It's also quick to digest, but not so fast that it leaves you hungry again in an hour. This helps maintain satiety while providing a steady source of amino acids key for muscle preservation, metabolic health, and long-term blood sugar control. And while shrimp is low in fat, it contains a unique antioxidant called astaxanthin, the same compound found in salmon. Astaxanthin has been shown to protect pancreatic beta cells from oxidative damage, according to a 2020 study published in the journal Marine Drugs. Those beta cells are responsible for producing insulin. The healthier they are, the more efficiently your body can regulate glucose. Another benefit that often gets overlooked is shrimp's cholesterol to fat ratio. For years, dietary cholesterol was misunderstood. But research now shows that shrimp, despite its cholesterol content, doesn't negatively affect blood sugar or cardiovascular health when consumed in moderation. In fact, a randomized controlled trial from 2018 found that adults who replaced red meat with shrimp in 3 meals per week experienced improved insulin sensitivity and lower fasting glucose over a 10-week period. Then there's the practical side. Shrimp is fast. It can be boiled, grilled, sautéed, or added to a salad in under 10 minutes. And because it's naturally flavorful, it doesn't require heavy sauces or marinades that might add unnecessary sugars. For seniors, especially those with unpredictable appetites or limited energy to cook, shrimp offers a reliable solution. A clean, low-carb protein that delivers support without side effects. If your blood sugar tends to drop suddenly, whether mid-afternoon or overnight, shrimp might just be the simplest way to add stability without sacrifice. Now that you know the science behind these 4 seafood options, the next question is simple. How do you actually start? The good news is, you don't need a complete diet overhaul or a complicated grocery list. What you need is consistency, just enough to let your body feel the difference. Here's what I recommend to most of my senior patients. A simple 3-day seafood rotation to gently introduce these benefits without overwhelming your routine. Day 1 begins with mackerel. If fresh isn't available, canned mackerel in olive oil works just as well. Serve it with steamed vegetables or a small portion of brown rice for lunch. The goal is to give your body a strong dose of omega-3 seconds early in the day to slow digestion and reduce post-meal spikes. Day 2 centers around salmon. Baked or grilled fillets are ideal, but even high-quality frozen portions can be used. Pair it with roasted sweet potatoes and a handful of sautéed greens in the evening. This helps lower inflammation and keep insulin functioning efficiently overnight. On day 3, add sardines, preferably canned in water or olive oil, not sauces. Combine them with a light evening salad or mashed avocado on whole grain toast. This meal provides magnesium and protein in the right ratio to minimize the risk of blood sugar dips while you sleep. Throughout these 3 days, shrimp can be used as a flexible option for snacks or lighter meals. A small bowl of shrimp salad mid-afternoon can help prevent sudden drops between lunch and dinner. You can also prepare a simple shrimp stir-fry with vegetables for a quick, satisfying dinner when energy is low. Don't worry if you miss a day or 2. This plan isn't about perfection. It's about creating a new rhythm where food becomes part of the solution, not part of the stress. If you're not used to eating seafood regularly, start small. A few bites, half a serving. Then notice how your body responds not just in your numbers, but in your energy, your sleep, and your appetite. Over time, these small additions can have a large cumulative effect. What matters most is that you start. Not next month. Not next Monday. Tonight. It's easy to feel like your health is slipping further out of reach with each passing year, especially when the numbers don't budge. When the energy fades, when the routines that used to work suddenly don't. But here's what I need you to remember. Diabetes does not mean defeat. Your body still listens. It still responds. And with the right nutrients, the right rhythm, and the right support, it can still adapt. What you choose to eat this evening might seem small, but it could mean waking up with a steadier heart, fewer crashes, a clearer mind, a calmer morning. And when you string those mornings together, you start to rebuild the foundation for something better, not perfect, but stronger. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to go hungry. You just need to give your body what it's been missing consistently, kindly, patiently. If you've watched this far, thank you. It means you care enough to take your health seriously. And I hope this gave you not just information, but something more important, hope. If this video helped you in any way, please consider liking it, sharing it with someone you love, or subscribing for more guidance like this. And if you've tried any of the seafood we discussed or plan to leave a comment below, your story might just encourage someone else who needs it today. You still have control, not over everything, but over enough to make a difference. And sometimes that's all it takes. I'm Dr. James Porter. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.